Welcome everybody to Wrastle Talk Overtime with Mario and Lou. I am Lou. This is the host of Wrastle Talk, Mario. Mario, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, Lou.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, people watch this on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification button. So when this episode come out, you automatically will know where it comes out. You can see it. People listen to us on audio on iHeart Radio, Apple, and Spotify. Please hit that like, subscribe, give us a 5-star. Loving this. People following us on Apple, thank you for your support. Our Apple numbers are going up big time today. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we're gonna have a little fun today. Before on our overtime show, we had a little game that we had. We went over the whole WWE roster. We asked Mario's opinion. But today we're gonna play a little game called. We're actually gonna play 2 games today. 2 games. The first game is going to be, what would Vinny do? What would Vince do? Okay, what would Vince do? And the second one is going to be a game called Released, Storyline, or Send Their Ass Back to Catering.
Oh, boy.
Oh, this is going to be fun, sir. This is good. This is going to be very, very fun. But the first one, what would Vince do? Okay. Let's pretend that right before WrestleMania 41, let's say Uncle Paul, he had a little whatever, and he couldn't do it. So he called up his daddy. Daddy, I got all this planned out. I don't know how to handle it. So guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We're going to go back and recap WrestleMania 41 in Vegas. What would Vince do with the outcome? And we asked Mario's opinion. Each match, would it be the same outcome? Would it be different? Would it be a Vinnie Mac style? Mario, are you ready to play with me today?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be fun today.
People follow us on Apple, Spotify, iHeart Radio. Down in the descriptions is the link. You can see it. Again, please, everybody, like this video. The more likes we get, puts us into a different algorithm. We love your support. Wrastle Talk is underneath the Let's Talk About with Lou J umbrella. We got more shows coming out on Let's Talk About with Lou J. Of course, Wrastle Talk is going to keep on going strong. We have some overtimes. We got a lot of pay-per-views coming out. Moments in History is coming out as well. Couples Talk is coming out too. That's coming out in June. That's going to be fun too. But let's play. You ready, Mario?
Let's do it.
All right. So on night 1, we had the world's heavyweight champion. He had Gunther. He was the champion. And then Jey Uso, the winner in the Royal Rumble, he took on Gunther. Now, if this came about and Vinnie Mac was running the show, how do you think this would have worked out? Gunther was the champion and Jey was the challenger. How do you think Vinnie would have booked that one?
He wouldn't allow Jey Uso to become world heavyweight champion.
No.
He would have built Gunther more stronger. He wouldn't allow Gunther to submit, for starters. All of the above. But more than likely, I think Vinny would book Gunther very strong at WrestleMania and keep him as world champion.
Wow, think so, huh?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is only Mario's opinion only. You don't want to know my opinion.
Let's hear it.
No. We got a lot to go over. Trust me.
Oh, shit.
We got a lot to go over. Okay. And also, we do have three questions from the mailbag too as well. But we'll go down here. Let's get to the World Tag Team title, sir. At this time, the Viking Raiders are the Raw, I guess the World Tag Team titles, champions of Raw, whatever it is. And they went against Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. How would Vince did this? Would Vince had the New Day turn heel? Would he have them won the titles? Would Viking Raiders retain the title? What do you think Vince would have done?
I don't think that match would even be on the card.
Wow.
Vince would not allow that match to be on the card.
You know what? I had to agree with that right there. Do you think Vince would let the New Day turn heel?
No. I know and we said this before off air, that the New Day wanted to become heel for a long time.
Yep, years. They've been wanting it for years. Vince said no. Vince knows a lot of things. So let's continue, sir. Let's go with the United States Championship. LA Knight is the champion. He is faced by the upstart, fast up-and-coming Jacob Fatu. What would Vinnie Mac do? LA Knight is your champion.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah. I think about that myself.
Vince is known for loving big, strong athletes like Jacob Fatu. I don't know. I don't know if Vince would allow him to become champion or build him up, then put him at champion. I'm not so sure if it would have been done at WrestleMania or at a different pay-per-view. That's just the only thing I don't know. I don't know.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, this is hypothetical. This is, let's say Vince took over at the last minute. Everything was set. The cards were set, but Vince came in. He's like, I'm going to take it over. I got you, son. I know you're stressed out. I got you. I'm going to book this just right. I mean, he'll do a Vince Russo thing. My Uncle Russo would have really bucked it out, but you know what I mean? But So let's get on to the next one. This should be a very interesting one. Is the Women's Championship. We got Tiffy Time versus the Royal Rumble winner, Charlotte Flair. How would Vince do it? Because I don't know. Charlotte's a Vinny girl, so we'll see. What do you think would have happened?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't even think that they would be allowed to go into the business for themselves. They would have stuck to the storyline, and Charlotte would have become the champion just to have Tiffy have that title chase. But that ain't never gonna happen.
Wow, you think Uncle Paul's is fucking that up too?
I don't think he fucked it up. I think he punished them for going into business for themselves. But that just show what kind of freedom Charlotte has. That shows what kind of freedom Tiffy has to do what they want to do. And they are literally out of control right now. Both of them.
So you think Vinny would let Charlotte win?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, let's get to the main event of night one, which it was a banger. I'm curious to see what you thought about this one, because this is probably the best match of the whole damn night. Well, besides Dom. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk. With the epic turn of Paul Heyman, the way Triple H booked it. What do you think Vince would have done?
He would have kept it exact the same.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you think he would add a little bit more to it?
No, because I think the idea actually came from Paul Heyman to do that double turn.
Oh, yeah, we already know that, because Uncle Paul, he, you know what I mean? Well,
And knowing Vince and Paul, they'll fight tooth and nail on storyline booking. But I honestly believe that Paul would have won this one over Vince, and he would have kept it the same.
I think Paul won a lot of stuff with Vince when he was out there. I mean, he won a lot. I still want to know, was Paul in favor of ending the streak with The Undertaker with that one? Was he in favor of that?
I don't know. I think that was a surprise. I honestly believe that was a surprise and a shock to him.
Okay. So that was night one. Let's get to a question first. The mailbag. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the mailbag is back. I've answered some of the questions because they're a lot older. We kind of fell off because all these pay-per-views and stuff like that. But are you ready, sir?
Let's do it.
My man Doug Hoff is back. Yes, I said Doug. I ain't say Dave because he got on me about saying the wrong name. I'm always making this name up. Doug Hoff from Kalamazoo says, is John Cena versus R-Truth match a setup for Truth taking the title in September?
Hell yeah. I believe so. They're already planting the seeds.
You know what? We talked about that, man. I like to see it entertainment-wise, but I don't know. I don't know if the fans are going to get by that. Because I'm interested to see how this match goes at Saturday Night's Main Event. I'm very interested in how it goes. Like, I don't know if this is like his tour of everybody he wants to work with for the last time, or they setting this up. So, Doug, I don't know. Mario says it's a setup. So we gonna find out. We'll probably get a little inkling next Saturday. So thank you for your question. So are you ready for night 2?
Yep.
All right. This should be an interesting one because now you're a big fan of this young lady. It's the triple threat for the Women's World Championship. We got Io Sky, who was the champion, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley. We know the outcome, but what would Vinnie Mac have done with this?
Yeah. Now we want to see Io Sky as champion. We wouldn't even see her as champion going into WrestleMania. More than likely, thinking the way Vince McMahon thinks, Rhea Ripley would have gone into WrestleMania as champion and leave WrestleMania as champion.
You know what? I think you're right. I think it would have been Rhea Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been that one. I still think that I've always thought that one. They got to have their match sooner or later. But Io's so good. And, that's one of Uncle Paul's girls. She's talented. I just wish she would do more on the mic. I don't know how much you can with the language barrier, but, I like to see more of her do something. Mm-hmm. But that's what Vinny would do. So let's get to my least favorite match of the whole night was a Sin City street fight between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. Now, we know how the outcome was. The finish was amazing. I love the finish. Do you think Vince would have kept it the way it is, or he would totally change it up?
He would have kept it the way it is. That particular match, he would have kept it the way it is.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So are you happy about them having a steel cage match at Saturday Night Main Event?
I don't think we've seen a steel cage match in a while on Saturday Night's Main Event. It'll be interesting. I'm actually looking forward to seeing that.
Who you think goes over?
Yeah, you gotta keep him strong. He's been throwing out good promos lately on SmackDown. You gotta keep him strong right now.
Okay. All right. Let's continue. Defending 4-way Intercontinental Championship. You got Braun Breaker. He's a champion. Versus Dom, Dirty Dom, Finn Balor, and Penta. Do you think the match will stay the same, or would Vince work his magic?
He would allow Dom to become IC champion. I can see that.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know if the match would have particular happened the way it did with the Fatal 4-way. I think that it probably would have been either one-on-one. But then again, well, Braun Breaker was face at that time, right?
I guess so.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, he probably would have kept it one-on-one, allowing Dom to still become IC champion.
I wonder if Vince will let Jay beat Braun the first time for Intercontinental title. I I wonder if that would have happened. He only kept it for a month. I wonder if he would have did that. Dang. What do you have done? All right. Maybe. Let's get to your favorite match. You know, you got Randy Orton against his surprise mystery opponent because Kevin Owens got injured. It was Joe Hendry from TNA, the world champion. So I'm gonna ask you, would that have happened if Vince was doing the booking?
Nope. Sure wouldn't.
Really?
Yeah.
And why is that?
Vince, first of all, Vince would never allow anyone from another organization, such as TNA, to be on the big show at WrestleMania. He wouldn't allow that.
You kept him separate.
Exactly. He's always been known for that. If you guys out there don't believe me, go back to WrestleMania 17. You see a lot of WCW stars that were setting up on suite levels.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't a part of that.
Yeah,
and neither should TNA be a part of this.
Well, you heard him, ladies and gentlemen. You heard him. So now we get to the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. You got Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, versus Lyra Valkyria, and surprise partner turned out to be Becky Lynch. Do you think it would have stayed the same? Becky would have still been the partner? And what would Vinnie Mac have done? Because I know what my Uncle Bruce would have done. But what do you think Vinnie would have done?
That's a tough one. I don't know if Liv would still be able to do that movie that she's doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think that Vince would allow that.
You think so? Huh?
Yeah. She hasn't reached that point yet. Because if you think about it, top talent like John Cena, The Rock, they were allowed to go out and do movies. Liv Morgan hasn't reached that level yet. I would have to go with, he would probably have Raquel and Liv Morgan still stay the champions. He definitely, I know for sure, he definitely wouldn't allow Becky Lynch to be in the match because he's known for saving surprises after WrestleMania.
Interesting. I can tell you a little side note. I know what my Uncle Bruce would have done.
Pole matches, they turn heels, have Mama Rose become the tag team champions.
I think Uncle Bruce would have let Liv and Raquel keep the titles and have Becky turn on Lyra earlier that night and not the next night. Now on Raw. That's what I would think. That's just me. And you know what I mean, and then have her face her the next night and beat her for a title. That's what Uncle Bruce would have did. He's a smart man. Anyway, so let's get on to the main event, the undisputed WWE Championship. You got that fraud Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. Now we know the outcome. Do you think Uncle Vinnie Mac would have let John Cena become the 17-time world champion to beat Ric Flair's record, which is, he really didn't beat it because Ric Flair is 21 times champion, but that's whatever. Do you think that would have happened or would have stayed the same? If Cody dropped the title.
How long did it take for John Cena to become here? Over 2 decades, right?
Yep, 2 decades.
And in that time, who was in charge? McMahon, right?
Yep.
So Cena came back after McMahon was gone.
Mm-hmm.
would we still be able to see Cena as a heel? I don't possibly believe that we would have saw Cena as a heel. I don't think that Vince would have allowed that.
No?
It probably would have been face versus face. Maybe it's a possibility that he would have allowed John Cena to become 17-time champion. I don't. Even if Dwayne Johnson was involved in storyline, he wouldn't allow The Rock to be off that night. He just didn't give a shit. It was about his business. Definitely wouldn't allow Travis Scott to be holding up the Hardcore Championship and interfere in the match. That would have been a no-no.
Okay.
But we still probably would have seen John Cena as 17-time champion.
Think so, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. Please like this episode. You're going to see the like button. I'm sorry, right up over there. You're going to see the like button. Please like this episode. We would definitely appreciate it. So we're going to get back to the mailbag. And this is for somebody. We got actually old guests that came back. This is pretty cool. But this question is to you. This is from Slammy Slam, which I have no idea where he's from. He said, Mario, can you do one more old school moments of history like NWA, AWA, and World Class, even some old territories as well? I'm a big fan of that. I know you guys like to do old WWE moments of history, but some of us would like to hear some of that stuff too.
Sweet. Yeah, I can do more of that. Actually, I was just reading up on a certain individual, and of course, he's been with WWF. He's been with WCW. He was also part of the Canadian Stampede Wrestling back in the territory days.
Wow, that was old. That's old.
And I'm actually talking about the British Bulldog because on this very day, he passed away at the age of 39.
Damn.
And yeah. And, my memories of him was probably back in I remember him being back in WCW when he teamed up with Sting to face Vic Van Vader and Sid Vicious. I think the pay-per-view was called Beach Blast. But I clearly remember, before watching WWE, I clearly remember a lot of his Canadian Stampede days when he was wrestling for Stu Hart. And I think at that time it was with the Dynamite Kid when he teamed up as the British Bulldogs. They were actually a tag team. The Hart Foundation was there. Say Chris Benoit was there as well. But yeah, we can do more of those, go a little bit more in depth with, territories and stuff like that.
Did you know, right, that the Stampede Wrestling, their number one title was a North American title?
Actually, no, I did not know that.
They was the first ones to have the North American title, which came down. I don't know if they sold it or stole it. They came down to Mid-South, but the North American title was originally up there. Stampede Championship Wrestling.
I remember the North American title being on the NWA program. I never realized that it was part of Canadian Stampede.
That's an old title, man. That North American title is an old title.
Still used to this day on NXT.
Yep, that's an old title. All right, last question for the mailbag, sir, before we get to part 2 of the game. This came from Corey K, which he's with number 4, parts unknown. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Who's going to win next Friday? You got 2 eliminations, 2 qualifying matches. You got Aleister Black, LA Knight, and Shinsuke Nakamura. That's the first one. Who are you picking? This is for Money in the Bank.
I'll probably put LA Knight back in there again.
I'm going to Aleister Black. He just came back. Uncle Paul's going to try and push him to get up there. LA Knight don't need that briefcase. Dude, he's not going to be a champion. He's never going to be I mean, he's cool and all, but like my Uncle Roos said, he'll never get over. Not as a world champion. my Uncle Roos even, I mean, that's his face where he'll never get over. I mean, as top as he'll go as United States champion. He'll never be world champion, bro. He just, but who knows? Jey Uso's the world champion. Who knows? You know what I mean? If they name Jey Uso world champion, anybody can be world champion. But anyway, the women's Giulia, Charlotte Flair, and Selena Vega, which I don't know why Selena Vega, she's the United States champion. So there they go and add another champion to another qualifier, which is stupid. What do you think?
Giulia. I can see Giulia.
Well, does Charlotte need that?
No, she doesn't.
No, they just need star power for the match. Force feeding these young stars, man, to get up quick. I don't know. Yeah, most likely to be Giulia, but I ain't gonna lie. I would love Charlotte to win it. I ain't gonna lie. To be in the match. Actually win Money in Bank. I think that'd be epic, but they won't do it to her. Anyway, again, people on YouTube, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification button. Please. People on Apple, Spotify, iHeart Radio, hit that notification button as well. Please subscribe to this great podcast. We're going to play the second game for my man Mario. This is totally his opinion. We're going to play a game called Released, give him a storyline, or send their ass back to catering. This is the roster up to date. Now, we're not going to do this all the whole roster. We're going to do certain individuals. I want to hear Mario's opinions about this, about certain people. All right? Are you ready, sir?
I'm ready.
All right. You got Released, give him a storyline, or back to catering. Because I was going to put what would Vince do, but you already know he probably released half the roster. All right. But we'll see with all the recent releases and stuff like that, because, I still feel there's a lot more releases they still need to do. But anyway, let's go to the Raw roster, sir. Let's start off with AJ Styles.
Give him a storyline.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. What do you think about, and I'm very interested in your opinion about this one, because I already know mine. It's Austin Theory.
This is actually surprising, but yeah, give him a storyline.
Do you think because the fans want him to be the third member with Seth and them?
Possibility, yeah. I can actually see that happen.
Don't forget, Austin's a Vinny guy. He's a Vinny guy because he got pushed a lot when Vince was there.
I mean, like, it was all fun the way they kept on burying him on TV, but after a while, it just starts to get boring.
He's too talented, bro. He's too talented. This should be a good one for you, even though her contract's up in another year, which I'm wondering how way that's going to go. It's Bayley, your favorite.
Back to catering.
Wow. She'll get her eat on. All right. I'm not going to mention Becky Lynch. I'm not going to mention Braun Breaker. But I will mention the Creed brothers.
Release. Ever since that El Grande Americano came out, I mean, it's good. That team is probably going to work for a little bit, but eventually that team won't be needed for Chad Gable. He's already over.
So you saying they're going to be on the next release list?
More than likely.
Here's an interesting one for you. Carlito. Release, storyline, or back to catering?
I would release him. He ain't done shit. I ain't seen him do shit.
Wow.
He's not involved in really any major storylines other than the Judgment Day.
Wow.
Just to be an annoying thorn on my side.
Wow.
But if they can give him a proper storyline, release him.
I'm very shocked you said that. Okay. Wow. Hello. Oh, here's one interesting for you. Dragon Lee.
Give him a storyline. I want to see him build up.
The War Raiders.
Back to catering.
I don't know. They need to.
They're not being built up properly.
This one, I'm going to research this, but I can't wait till he comes back. He's injured now. It's Ilya Dragunov. I would love to know what they're going to do with him. So when he comes back, what do you think? Release, storyline, or back to catering, or stay in catering?
Give him a storyline.
Because he's still hurt. That's a shame.
I mean, either put him in the mid-card position for the IC title or the United States Championship. More than likely, I can actually see Dragunov being, given that he's Russian, I can actually see it played out as him being U.S. champion.
Yeah.
And you remember how Nikolai Volkov, what's that? The Kolos or whatever they are.
Yeah, Nikolai.
Yeah, they can do something with that, something similar the way they did back in the old days. Have Ivan talk trash about the U.S. and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And just have him, rub it in our face as him being the U.S. champion. That would be pretty awesome to see right there.
I like that idea. Okay, yeah, I mean, go email your Uncle Paul. I mean, make it happen. All right. Our next person is Ivy Nile.
Release.
Damn, not even catering. They not even gonna give her a meal before she out. Damn. Damn. All right. You heard the man. When she comes back from injury, Kairi Sane.
Storyline immediately. Put her with something with Io Sky. I want to see something between them.
Okay. This one should be an interesting one. Karrion Kross.
Such great talent, man. If they don't do something with him soon, they're going to lose momentum for him. People are going to start to lose interest. And I would say release him at that point.
I say release him anyway. I mean, right, and let him go be who he's supposed to be. This is what I said on our last episode. I wish they had a new league, or matter of fact, or let him go to TNA and let him go. He'd be great for TNA. Great for TNA. Like he'd be the one that can take the title off of Joe Hendry and let Joe Hendry come here and let Karrion be a TNA champion over there. That's what he needs to do. That's just my opinion, but this is about you. My least favorite, Sami Zayn.
Storyline. You gotta keep him relevant till Kevin Owens comes back. There's still more to be played out there, but fortunately, what can you do with Sami Zayn right now?
I told you what you gonna do with him.
What's that?
Let him win Money in the Bank. Let him win Money in the Bank. Let him have his dream. Let him cash in on Jay and let him become world champion and turn heel.
I would probably accept that. I would accept that.
Okay. How about Ludwig Kaiser?
Storyline. He's hot right now.
I don't know. He's been catering for a while. I don't know. How about Zoe Stark?
Storyline.
And well, she's in catering too.
Yeah.
One of the last ones on Raw, Rusev.
You know what? Let's give him a chance. Storyline.
Mm. Mm.
I know I'm probably gonna regret saying that.
Mm. They should never resign him. He doesn't fit in this Uncle Paul's generation now. He doesn't fit.
He's not the same Rusev that I saw before.
Nah, it's a little different. He just two more. We will go with the ever annoying Maxine Dupree.
Release.
Dang, they ain't gonna put her in catering?
There's nothing for her.
And the last one, because the other people are like really, you already know they're getting storylines or whatever and this and that. But I like you to, where's that name, man? Where is that? I'm very interested in what you hear about this person. It's JD McDonough.
Storyline. I see potential.
Okay. All right, sir. So let's get to, wait a minute, hold on a minute. Let's go to the SmackDown roster. Again, people watching on YouTube, please like, subscribe, comment, hit that like button, hit that notification button. If you want to hear us on Apple, Spotify, or iHeart Radio, it's in the descriptions down the bottom. Thank you so much. Go SmackDown, sir. Your favorite female wrestler, which you say you see nothing in last time, maybe your opinions has changed, is Alba Fire.
It still hasn't changed.
How you doing? Her service, the secret her, what is a secret her service? Secret her service. I love it. I love it. Secret her service. I love it. That's probably the best thing. You know, they brought it out for Chelsea for the United States Championship. They didn't keep it long. She don't have the belt anymore. So but
there's literally nothing for her right now. I mean, like, the only thing I can actually see happening after Chelsea's run is her being feuding with Piper Niven, which has nothing to do with Alba Fire.
All right. How about the Motor City Machine Guns, the tag team?
Release.
Damn, I didn't even cater?
No. Damn. They're getting pretty up there in age. I mean, their best years was in TNA.
Yeah, peripheral. The back in the day TNA.
Mm-hmm.
Angel and Roberto.
Storyline.
I'm surprised you were sending something back to catering.
Well, I mean, like, with the whole thing with AAA coming on board with WWE, they should capitalize on that, especially with the majority, with the more talented but to bring on their company and stuff. Give them a storyline, make something happen with them.
This should be an interesting one. My Uncle Rooster's favorite, Candice LeRae.
Oh shit!
Released storyline on Back to Catering.
I can't believe I'm about to say this shit. Release her.
Why?
Okay, first of all, me and Vince Russo has nothing in common. We don't think alike. I don't agree with the majority of the things that he said. And I'm pretty sure that he gets his information from an inside source, considering he still had buddies working at WWE. They're really not doing it, the damn thing with Candice LeRae. There's really no purpose for her to be on SmackDown or to be on any of the WWE programming.
She'll never get over. It's true. She'll never get over. Never. Dude, she wouldn't even get over and involved.
Um,
The lowest level you can have in WWE. She wouldn't get over there.
yeah, release.
Oh my goodness. All right. Carmelo Hayes. Him. I am him.
Storyline.
Dude, they've tried so many times with this kid. I don't know what to do with him. I heard him stay with his NXT character. Maybe put him and Trick back together. I don't know. Something.
You know what? I'm glad you just mentioned that. I would say put him back at NXT because he's gotten more over at NXT than he is getting over at SmackDown.
No, I wouldn't put him back at NXT. I would just bring Trick up.
I don't think Trick is ready for that.
Trick has the talent, but again, man, like talent can only take you so far. You gotta have promo skills, bro. Unless you got overwhelming talent, like Io. Like, you know what I mean? Like Asuka. They both have overwhelming talent that overshadows the promo. See, Trick, he's just not getting it with the promo skills. It's like he's trying too hard. You ever see some of these NXT guys? They try too hard. They just like you really just gotta be you and just tune it up. Just react. I still think he gets nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but anyway, this is another one. You should love this one right here. The White Six. Release, storyline, or back to catering?
I'm not giving up on them. Give them a storyline.
Okay. I got you. This is an interesting one. Jimmy Uso.
Storyline.
You have hardly said nobody back to catering.
Well, it just goes to show you, if they really had to be back in catering and they're not doing anything with them, that's time, talent, money wasted.
Hey, you know how many towns in catering right now?
You're basically getting paid to sit on your ass.
Hey, man. Hey, that's not a bad gig, though. Something the way I hear, some of them like doing that. So, here another one, which I feel also should have been mentioned by my Uncle Roos, because I don't see her getting over either. This is my opinion, but I want to hear yours. Is Michin.
Release.
I'll say keeper and cater. All right, we have. Oh God, what do you do with Santos Escobar?
Now that's a man that needs a storyline. He doesn't need a championship belt, but he can help elevate talent.
Okay. Last couple ones left. Shinsuke Nakamura.
Release.
Wow. That's just heartbreaking.
Yes, it is heartbreaking because Vinny had a chance to do something with him when WWE decided to have Shinsuke win the Royal Rumble. But then you have him lose a championship match at WrestleMania. Okay, fine. His upbringing from NXT is good. Going into the main roster was good. This new version of Shinsuke Nakamura is not doesn't vibe with me at all. I don't know who came up with that idea, but no, it does not vibe with me at all.
Okay. Couple left. A matter of fact, I'm gonna do two more. Ray Phoenix.
Storyline,
Storyline.
storyline, Triple
The
A.
last one is the United States champion, Selena Vega.
You know what? I don't see her as a champion. I see her as a transition for someone else to take the belt from her.
Like who?
Perhaps Julia, perhaps someone from NXT that'll probably come into the main roster. But once she loses that belt, once Selena Vega loses that belt, people will begin to lose interest. I'm not seeing a big pop reaction when she comes out. And eventually, that'll be what WWE needs to be able to release her.
Okay. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there's something I would like to say. This is about NXT. How should I put this? Let's go get right down to it. It's something that Uncle Paul came up with. Great idea. Got good stars out there. Since it's not going to be a draft, because, you know, Goulier has been now on SmackDown. It seemed like little Roxanne Perez is on Raw, right? No draft, no nothing. The NXT fans. I know Mario, the host of Wrastle Talk, he wants to keep his favorite Jordan Grace down in NXT. Don't know why. I think she belongs in the main roster. He keep on fighting it. If he was running NXT, she will always be down in NXT. Was dumb some strange reason. I don't know. What are we doing? But there's three people I think who needs, or five people who needs to be up there. But this is going to be halted by AAA. So this is my prediction here. June 7th, which we're going to do our little analysis on, you know, was it NXT Worlds Collide with AAA, right?
Yep.
And we got my second favorite pay-per-view of all time, Money in the Bank. My number one is Royal Rumble, which you stole from me, but it's okay. It's all right. I mean, like, you know, I know you're the host and all, but man, I mean, you could throw me a bone about Royal Rumble, but that's okay. I mean, it'd be nice you throw me a bone about Money in the Bank. You know what I mean? That's my second favorite. You know what I mean, I wouldn't do it to you, but anyway, man, I'm saying. But we're going to find out about NXT Worlds Collide with AAA. Because I think they signed seven guys? Seven people for AAA? Including the very controversial Alberto Del Rio, which I want to know how that's going to work out. Everybody talk about Vinny. I mean, whoa. You know what I mean? I want to know how that's going to work out. But we're going to find out what's going to happen. What I hear is there will be a couple main roster people, but it's definitely going to be AAA versus NXT. So I want to see how this is going to work, but it seems like AAA is going to be absorbed into NXT. That's what I'm hearing. But I like to see these people finally get their just due. And let me see if I can find them here. Of course, Jordan Grace, but he won't let her go. My number one, who I feel needs to be on the main roster, sooner or later, I think at maybe sometime by SummerSlam, put her in the group, is Jada Parker, the new Heart. She got the attitude. She's there. I love her. Just as much as you love Jordan Grace, I love Jada Parker. The girl got it. You know, Yeah, I like to see her or Carmelo do some shit or be put in a group with somebody else. Somebody needs to lead them. You know what I'm saying? Like if you had a big time main roster person lead like Carmelo and like Jada, kind of like what Edge did for the beginning Judgment Day. Remember beginning Judgment Day where he had Damian and then he had Rhea, right? Perfect. You need an Edge type guy for the future. So I don't know who's that going to be, but I like to see her go up. I like to see Javon Evans actually win the title, the NXT title, or at least the North American title. Give the kid a title. The kid is just good. I like to see Obafemi come up. I would love you talking about catering and release Lash Legend.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, release her ass. She's horrible. Like I said, like let's have a loser leave WWE match between that fraud Jade Cargill and Lash Legend. They are the two worst. You know, I'm gonna get attacked by that one. You know, especially for my man Celine. But they stink. Stink. And Celine, by the way, I know you watch the show. No, I'm not a Tiffy fan anymore. She went in business for herself. I don't like her anymore. I'm a Charlotte person. So she's not away. Obafemi, I need him to come up. And sooner or later, Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley. Need them to come up too, put them in the group. That Sol Ruka is really getting to me, man. That little crazy flip she does off the ropes.
Uh-huh.
Y'all seeing like, dude, how do you do that? You know what I mean? Like, it comes backwards. It's crazy. It's the most unique move I've ever seen in my life. She's starting to grow on me. But yeah, that's the only one I got. So we're gonna wind this down. Do you have anything else you want to talk about, you want to say? Because I know our next pay-per-view is coming up. We got Money in the Bank. I know we got to discuss if we go do the Worlds Collide or not, most likely something. So what are you looking forward to, sir, coming up about Money in the Bank?
You know what? If you guys know how we feel about Money in the Bank right now, you can tell that we're both excited and nervous at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to our last Money in the Bank episode. It's in YouTube archives under Let's Talk About It umbrella. And you will actually see how pissed off we both were at this pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
And all I can say is for Triple H, Paul Levesque, don't screw up this Money in the Bank.
I think he will. I don't. I think they learned from last year that by telling that story with Drew and CM, I guess that didn't work too much. But the fake cash-in. Fake cash-ins don't really work anymore. I think a lot of people were so mad about that, but I'm very interested, not the men's side. I'm interested who's going to win on both sides. Because, God, man, can you imagine if Solo wins that Money in the Bank? Can you imagine that?
Probably burning him up to square off against Roman Reigns again, perhaps.
Because I would love to know what he'll start doing with Roman. Like, if Roman comes, every 3-4 months now, he works? Then he works like, 2-3 pay-per-views a year?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that? So,
the ones.
Because I know they would not be.
They're actually doing to WWE's credit, they're actually doing this correctly with a big time star talent with Roman Reigns. And I know I used to get pissed off before when they did it with Brock Lesnar, but now I see the point of them separating time in between shows with these top star talents because you don't want to burn them out. You don't want to burn out the audience uh, with these top star talent. You still want to make sure that they still get that pop for them. So when you have a mid card talent or a lower level talent, that can be a little bit more extra special for both of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can actually see the point now, giving them time off in between major matches or major storyline matches.
Okay. All right. Well, I think they have. What's the match after? Who has the championship match? So whoever wins Money in the Bank is not going to cash in that night because Gunther faces the winner of Logan and Jay the night after on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Money in the Bank. So that's interesting. And I don't see nobody. It depends who wins the briefcase to see who's going to cash in either on Cena or Jay.
It would probably be Jay.
It probably had to be Jay, but it depends who wins. Because the qualifiers, they don't have one so far?
Only one.
But yep. Who's that? I forgot who it was. Oh God, who's the qualifier? I should have had that already.
Yeah.
All right, hold up. Let me see here. Hold on. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. The qualifier. I don't know who's in right now. But either way, you know what? It all depends who gets in. Cena's not going to be cashed on in. He's not going to be cashed in until, if it is a certain person, it won't be until December.
Mm-hmm.
So it got to be Jimmy. So far, Sammy is not advertised for a qualifier. So that's interesting. I don't know. The females, who the champion? Io and Tiffy.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing really interesting about female cash-ins this year. Not really either champion. Like Tiffy right now.
Tiffy ain't gonna lose that belt right now. She still has storylines involved. Time between Nia Jax, which also ties between Jade Cargill, which also ties between Charlotte, which also ties between Naomi. You see her on the background too, here and there.
You putting her over. I mean, somebody came to me and asked me, like, man, Tiffy. I actually think Tiffy was a future too, but now I'm looking at it. There's a plenty of Tiffys out there. I mean, there's a girl at AEW who's about to become a free agent. I don't know what AEW going to do, but if they let Mariah May go of AEW and she comes over here, man, yo, you can bury Tiffy. Honestly, you can bury her. Like, Tiffy can't touch Mariah May. And for AEW fans, they know about Mariah May. Yeah, look her up. The girl's damn good. Right now, her and Toni Storm is doing some big time stuff over there. Like, you talking about dropping the ball somebody? Toni Storm is killing it right now. Killing it. Her character, and she wanted to do this character here. The one she's doing at AEW, which is way over. She acts like an old-time 50s, 60s actress and shit. It's fucking funny. It's great. It's hilarious. It's the best thing in the world. She pitched it to Vince. Vince said no, because Vince is the one who cut her, who released her. Okay? Now, you're not going to have that. You know how Vince is. You know what I mean? So what Toni do? She went over there. She waited her time. And she built her character. Now she's AEW champion. And my last thing on this right here, so this is the last thing I'm going to say. I'm a huge Sasha Banks fan. Not so much a Mercedes Verlando fan. I don't like how way she buried her time at WWE. Because if she didn't have that time, she wouldn't be who she is today. Okay. And she buried a lot of people. I mean, she threw everybody on the bus. Not just Vince. She threw Uncle Paul on the bus, too. She threw everybody on the bus. These are the people who put her over. Like, I'm not an Uncle Paul fan, but Paul put her over, too. In NXT, he fought for her in WWE. I mean, listen, you can say whatever you want about, she can say whatever she want about Vince or whatever, but she was the first African American or black female main event ever at main event WrestleMania. Vince put that together. All right, he made that happen. He could have said no. So when you put people now, and she put there Paul too, which I don't understand that. I mean, like, I guess she has her creativity, but I thought she was still relevant more here than she was at AEW. But, I'm not liking that. But that's my final rant, sir. You go right ahead, finish it off, because we about to sign off here soon. What else you got, sir?
Well, that was my final rant. Just don't make Money in the Bank this year look like last year.
You sure?
I'm fucking nervous right now.
I got a side bet, but you know what? So he did it with the men last year. How much did we do with the women this year?
Oh, boy.
Because we didn't even talk about how everybody, he got the poorest women's booking ever. You talking about Vince was bad? Man, oh my goodness. Anyway, sir, thank you for playing the game today. Ladies and gentlemen, we play these little games every now and then. I got another little game for him. I got another couple of months. I'm gonna save it for SummerSlam. That should be a good one. That's gonna be an epic one. He really not gonna see that one coming. So thank you so much for playing today. Again, everybody, please like, subscribe, comment. Apple, Spotify, iHeart Radio users, listeners, descriptions down the bottom. Subscribe, like, please hit that like button, hit that notification button. Thank you so much, guys, for watching Wrastle Talk Overtime with Mario and Lou. I am the co-host. This is the host of Wrastle Talk. I just took it over for today. Hopefully, I can get a couple words for Money in the Bank. We'll see my second pay-per-view. We'll see how he treats me. Everybody, we will see you at Money in the Bank and NXT AAA Worlds Collide. Everybody, peace. Deuces.